going on, guys? It's your boy the Markham Knight here. Today's video is going to be all about the WandaVision TV series. Now the first two episodes did drop on Disney Plus. I have watched those episodes and I'm going to give you my review here. But before I do my review of the first two episodes, I do want to talk about the show a little bit. Now the show is called WandaVision. I think that's a play on television because it's set up in a sitcom format. The first two episodes take place, I'm guessing, somewhere in the 50s or even before that. It's kind of based on the Honeymooners TV show. Not necessarily based on it, but it kind of has a similar format and stuff like that. There's a lot of things it kind of steals from I Love Lucy and stuff like that, but it kind of has an old school, old-timey thing going on with how the actual TV show is set up, and there are even some commercials put in between it and stuff like that. And before I go into any more details of that, I just kind of want to give you my theory and my expectation as to kind of what this is doing. So basically my theory of this is that this is MCU's House of M storyline. For those of you who have not read House of M in the comic books, I do highly recommend it. It is one of my favorite X-Men Marvel or X-Men Avengers crossover storylines. And basically the quickest way to do it without giving too much away is that Wanda loses her two kids in the comic books, and then she recreates this idyllic world with her two kids by her side. And it's both the X-Men and the Avengers are trying to actually, the story primarily focuses a little bit on Wolverine and stuff like that, but they're trying to get a team together to stop Wanda and alter reality back to what it's supposed to be. So I do feel like this is kind of playing on that. Obviously, Wanda didn't have any children. Scarlet Witch didn't have children in this universe, in the MCU, but she did lose Vision multiple times in Avengers Endgame and stuff like, or not Endgame, in Infinity War. But because she lost Vision, she was a little despondent, I think is probably the best word to use. Describing her in Avengers Endgame after the whole thing went down, but she definitely was not in the right headspace, and clearly she's altered reality and done something to kind of live in a space that kind of makes her feel safe and stuff like that, which for her, obviously, what's safer than a sitcom in the 50s or 40s or whatever this is taking place in. But basically she's created this world around her. Now there is some cool Easter eggs that they do drop in this. So obviously we saw there were obviously the commercials they set up, which were kind of in your face. One was for Stark Industries, and then another one was for Hydra, and specifically the Strucker watch. Now it is interesting because I believe his name was Baron von Strucker, but he was the one who kind of gave Wanda and her brother Quicksilver their powers in the first place in the MCU. So maybe these are her memories and stuff like that that's kind of calling out to her. I mean, in the actual in the Stark Industries one with the toaster, it was beeping, and I don't know if you noticed, but the actual light on the toaster was red, so maybe it was kind of like an alarm trying to like reach out to her and stuff like that. There's a lot of different theories that you could possibly have for this, but I personally think this whole thing is gonna lead into, because it's gonna lead into Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I feel like this is going to lead into Wanda going crazy and cracking open the multiverse somehow. And Wanda she's extremely, extremely powerful. She's one of the most powerful mutants, and she has reality altering powers. So her cracking open the multiverse is probably what's going to get us started for Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange. And that's going to be really cool to see moving forward. Now, as for what I thought of this episode, I think the best word to use is underwhelmed for these first two episodes. I mean, there was a lot that they could do with this, and I feel like the direction they chose to go in, it's very ambitious because they're doing something completely different, maybe different than anything we've ever seen before, in the sense of having basically a 50s or 40s TV show like I Love Lucy or something like that set today, and a lot of those jokes don't hit the same that they do now with a lot of people. Now there are going to be people who really like it. I did like I Love Lucy as a kid. I obviously don't rewatch I Love Lucy now and enjoy it the same way I probably would have as when I was a kid and growing up in a different time. Not to say I was born that long ago, but my parents used to watch that show and stuff like that, and I obviously watched it as a little kid while they were watching it, and it hits different now, I feel like. And for me personally, it was way too corny. There were a lot of cringy moments, and it got very boring at times, and I was kind of constantly just looking for like, okay, so what's the thing that's gonna give us like this hint about what's actually going on here? Because clearly there is a mystery, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that's given to us as Easter eggs as to what could be going on. Something that we did see was Sword was watching this on TV, And you can see this because they're trying to make contact with her. I believe they try to make radio contact. I think that's them trying to reach out to Wanda and kind of see what's going on. I don't think they know that Wanda created this world. I do feel like a lot of the characters that are in this world, like her best friend and her black friend and all these other characters and stuff like that, they are like actual people in the MCU and stuff like that. And because she's created this world, they've either been implanted or she's created them and kind of move them around the way that she wants to. So it's going to be really cool to see kind of how they go moving forward from that. But my review of the first two episodes, one, super underwhelming. I was not too impressed with anything that happened here. I don't enjoy the old-timey jokes and stuff like that. Considering it is 2020, I mean, they didn't have to go this route. It is ambitious, and I'm sure there are people who like it. I personally did not like it. I will not be rewatching these episodes at any point moving forward. I feel like I picked up on most of the Easter eggs anyway. The guy in the bee suit, there is an organization called AIM, and their actual agents and stuff like that are called beekeepers. So I do feel like that's probably kind of what they're doing there. I feel like SWORD, for those of you who don't know, it's basically SHIELD, but that's basically kind of like SHIELD, but they basically take care of everything that's not about just planet Earth. They take care of bigger things than that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in this. There's like a colored helicopter and stuff like that. There are a lot of different theories as to what that could be and stuff like that. I personally thought maybe it was like a shrunken real helicopter, but it could also just be a toy that's in color, just to kind of show Wanda, like give her warnings and stuff like that, like this isn't the real world. But clearly we see Wanda say no to the beekeeper scene and then rewind everything, so she's clearly altering this reality and creating it. And Vision, although I do feel like she created him from nothing, I think his consciousness is, in her memories, is created enough in there where he's questioning things that are going on. And I feel like that's going to probably build up a lot more. I feel like these first two episodes were just set up for the rest of the movie or the rest of the show, because I don't judge TV shows based on the first couple of episodes. I usually give it at least half the season, whatever length of the season it is. This series is supposed to be 9 episodes at least, so I'm gonna give it a minimum of 5 episodes before I say it's good or isn't good, or at least I could say it started well and didn't start well. I mean, it's for those of us who are big comic book or MCU fans or stuff like that, and we're expecting some comic book stuff to be going on, it is a very, very slow burn. And I personally did not enjoy these first 2 episodes. I am pretty sure there are a lot of people out there who did, but I am not one of them. Anyways, guys, tell me what you think.
This is the Markham Knight, and I need you to like, comment, and subscribe.